there's nothing more powerful than quiet confidence.
Ooh, or mysterious,
right? People think that confidence looks like, being the guy that's talking all the time.
Yeah.
Big watch, like expensive clothes. It doesn't have to be that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be that.
If you're a reserved person that likes to keep to themselves, that's good. That'll get you really far in the office and in the workspace. You don't have to always be, having something to say.
Right.
But that confidence will come that when there is something that is your domain, you're not letting other people do it.
Yeah,
this is me, and I know what I need to say, and I'm going to say it. I'm going to get it done. And if anybody has any questions, you come to me with it.
Mm-hmm. What's good, everybody? Welcome to Behind Closed Doors podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Quavy, man. It's a pleasure to have you guys all here. Now, season 2 of Behind Closed Doors, man, Elevate. And today, we are elevating with Josh and Cam, man, the GOAT, Nigerian giant, man. Josh, welcome to the show, bro.
It's a pleasure to be here, bro.
Hey, bro, I'm happy to have you here. Josh is a dear friend of mine. We met last year, but we got more close over the summer and shit. Definitely learned a lot from each other, kept each other close, man. So, bro, I'm happy to have you on here to talk more about, body confidence, more confidence as a man, and then body image as well.
For sure.
But how you feeling today, bro? We got a plant right here, bro. It's a fake plant.
Yeah. I mean, the plant is gonna symbolize our growth mentality, right? So, hopefully we can get into a little bit of everything.
100%. I think, plants do symbolize growth. In a way, you got to grow in confidence as well. So what would you say, why is confidence so important to people? Why is confidence important? Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of reasons, but I think confidence for me, my parents always told me growing up, if you don't believe in yourself, then nobody else will.
Okay.
So, you just got to instill a level of self-esteem in yourself. And it's hard. You got to dig deep sometimes. There are certain people that, for whatever reason, people pick on them more than others. So, they start, growing insecurities or whatever.
Right.
But when you find it within yourself to get confident, you'll see that, you're going to be so much more productive when you feel good about yourself.
You're not wrong. Hey, I definitely agree with your point. Like, I one of the ways I look at it is like being grounded, right? Some of it binds in with faith. Like, I know whatever battle's coming, like, I'm going to just get through it with me and God. And I feel like just knowing yourself pretty well kind of helps people get grounded. So a way to build confidence is just by knowing yourself in a way. If you start doing that, it helps a lot.
Yeah.
And your parents telling you that early on, did you kind of implement it because they was telling you what to do, or they have the best interest at heart for you or something like?
Yeah, sometimes it felt, to be honest, it felt like my parents were being really hard on me at that time.
Yeah. All African parents do that shit,
right?
Bro.
Exactly. So I didn't truly understand what they meant by that.
Yeah.
It's like, why would people not want to help me when I get older? Why would people not do everything in their power to support you? But that's that kind of life doesn't last. When you're in elementary school, you go to school and if you play hooky and you don't show up to class, right? They email your parents and say,
that's crazy,
somebody's not showing up to class. When you're in college and you don't show up to class, that doesn't happen.
They don't give a frick.
You just get an F.
Yeah.
You just get an F, and then all the money that you spend on college goes down the drain.
Yeah.
You don't show up to work, you get fired.
Yeah.
They don't call your parents and say you're not showing up. So that level of you wouldn't think that the two things are linked, but confidence, it intertwines with your practice, your trade, your work.
Right.
If you believe in yourself and you know what your capabilities are, then it will show in your work.
100%. And it's showing in your work is like the way you, your behavior, right? So how you act in a room, you gotta act like a king to be treated like one. It's in 40 Laws of Power. I actually have that book. Y'all should watch that book by Robert Greene. 40 Laws of Power. Act like a king to be.
It's delaying my fault.
I respect it. Act like a king to be treated like one.
Yeah.
And it kind of comes in like whenever you walk in a room, your eyes gravitate to you. Whenever I walk in a room, I know, bruh, it's because I walk in there with that confidence. Like, I'm about to beat something up or I'm about to get something done.
Yeah.
Right? So
attack it.
Yeah. Be bold. Don't be lukewarm. If you're lukewarm in that junk, it's not a good look.
Yeah.
And, I kind of want to get into why, like, earlier on, how did you find confidence for yourself? I mean, being African and everything, like, I know before in the past, I used to have friends that be like, "Oh, your skin," or they make jokes about my skin.
Yeah.
All the time, bro. What?
Yeah. The thing about Nigerians, man, like we just believe in ourselves. Okay. Like it's so instilled in everything. So I like to say, even though I grew up in the United States, like I grew up in a Nigerian household inside of the United States.
Yeah.
Like that culture was so instilled in me at a young age that like I could never believe that I was less than. My parents told me like, you are the smartest kid in all of your classes.
Oh,
so if
good.
you're getting bad grades, it's your fault because like you already got the minerals, you got the materials. Like we don't have a dumb kid, you know what I mean? And I got me in trouble a little bit, like because I'd be talking to the kids like, who do you think you are? I'm me. Who are you, bro? But I'm glad that I had that, in hindsight because I applied that to everything. It really did dawn on me when I started getting worse grades as I got into middle school. It was like this is a battle with myself. I can't blame my professor. I can't blame my parents or whatever. This is totally on me.
I actually have a question. Was it like imposter syndrome that kind of hindered your grades or you to act in that behavior?
I don't think I felt like an imposter in school until university. In high school or middle school, everybody goes through that dilemma of like social cliques and like where do I fit in kind of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I had that too. Like sometimes I was like, which crowd is mine?
100%.
But I definitely knew I was a piece of the puzzle.
Right.
It's when you go to college and you're trying to get a computer science degree. That's when you really feel like what's going on. Like I'm not supposed to be here at all.
Right.
But even that, we got through it. Thanks to God. We're almost there.
I really like that you found your footing. And who you are. And I feel like once you do that, it just kind of brings a vibe to you, man. Even when we went to that one club in Arlington, man, I was like, bro, I'm in my bag. Like, I like who I'm becoming, the man I'm becoming. Anyway, but what's the vast pressure on men to be, confident in leading and everything? Because I feel like some people have insecurities with, being confident.
Yeah. That pressure, in my opinion, it's in the way that we speak to each other. I think we put it on ourselves a lot, to be completely honest. There's stigmas that, or rather, there's a school of thought that your value as a man equates to what you can provide, what you can bring. So your annual salary is your value as a man, or your job position is your value as a man. You're less than if you're like a garbage man compared to like a doctor. When really your value is how you treat people, what you believe in, what you stand for.
Your principles.
Your principles. Exactly. There are people that, in here, like the wallet, they got a whole lot, but in here, they don't got anything.
Right.
And those people, they can have a lavish lifestyle, but when they go and they're not on this planet anymore, they
don't take that with them.
They don't take anything with them, and there was no impact in them being alive.
Right.
For as long as the universe has existed, the billions of years that it has, that's 78 years that person was alive. It made absolutely no difference.
It's crazy.
As a man, your value should be trying to start a legacy, make the world a better place, and taking whatever lessons you learned from your father, whether your father was present in your life or not present in your life, you can still learn from them, and try to apply those and build. Whether you start a family or you don't start a family, just with whoever you speak to, try to put your imprint on it.
I like that. Well spoken. I think I agree with your point about kind of your value as a man is your character and your principle.
Absolutely.
Screw the money.
Yeah.
Screw the money does not it makes you more of who you are, I would say, right? So let's say if you're a douchebag and you have a lot of money, you're not going to be the type to give to charity. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I want to be more of a man that's kind of like standing on principle of being honest.
Yeah.
Being sincere, like if I can help, I'll help.
That's important, man.
It's really help. It's so really important. Help if you can help. Because in the future, I was planning on doing projects in the future where I can give back. So having friends around me that also want to give back, you grow that friendship and that brotherhood, where y'all can just give back together and help change the world.
Yeah, you were just telling me about that poster there with you giving back in Togo, right?
Oh, I'm gonna give back in Togo, 100%. I'm gonna go back down there and kind of get back in a great way. So that's when I see that image, I'll put it up on the screen right here. There's an image of me looking at the kids in the community and kind of giving back school supplies. And I will do that dream. That's definitely gonna happen. You might even be on the trip.
Hey man, give me a plane ticket. I'm going.
I got you, bro. But yeah, I kind of want to get into that aspect. We worked in the corporate setting as well together. What does having little confidence in the corporate setting do to a person? Like, how is that?
Yeah. We could just completed an internship, so it's only normal that, as you start getting to those last days or weeks,
Right.
those conversations about negotiating a full-time role, they start to come up.
Yeah.
So, naturally, I was talking to the other interns to try to get a good sense of like what the typical rate is
To look at
annual
it.
salary
Correct.
for your position. And I see a lot of individuals that will go on Google and they'll find one number and they're content with that, and that they'll take that.
Right.
And I can encourage them. Hey, you should strive for a little bit more than that.
100%.
I worked on this project with you. I think you actually bring things to the table that make you above average.
Yeah.
But you'll find that those that don't really believe in themselves, they don't want to ask for more. They don't want to push more. And that number, you should see it as a springboard. Like that should not be where you get started. That should be where that should be the floor. It shouldn't be the ceiling, right?
Yeah, it shouldn't be the ceiling.
You have to know where you are and be reasonable. So if you're not well read, if you don't have certifications, if you don't have experience, that's one thing. But at any time you go into the corporate setting, if you don't have confidence, it's going to reflect, and you're going to get left behind on taking leadership and initiatives. I remember we talked about that, right? There were a couple of projects I wanted to be more involved in, and I wasn't vocal. I was expecting that other people were going to do it for me. So that kind of goes back to what we were talking about. I was thinking that everybody was going to see that I like to do public speaking, so they were just going to give me no, it doesn't work like that. If I had sent emails through and said, hey, this is me, I want to do this. Yeah, of course it would have given it to me. But you can't have that entitled mentality in the real world, especially not in the corporate world. It's cutthroat.
You got to advocate for yourself. And I feel like, stemming from your point, I actually disagree with you a little bit. To play devil's advocate, most people go for a certain salary range. I feel like, let's say the salary range for a job is $80K.
Okay.
Right? People are fine with $80K as a ceiling. Like, I want to make $80K my whole life, because all I'm trying to do is accumulate knowledge, or the time I'm being here, right? Knowledge, the more knowledge you know, the more money you have. But if you go for, like you said, live within your means, or what you know, if you go at it like, well, I want 100K, right? I want 100K, but damn well you don't have that knowledge to go 100K, and then give yourself a 75K salary, bro. Like, be smart.
Yeah.
The first job, you should be learning everything from that job, absorbing like a sponge, the positives, not the negatives. You gotta have a drainer or a strainer right there, but absorbing the positives and then bringing that with you to whatever next venture or job you have. Maybe it's a business or whatever you do from your 5 to 9. It's very important that you grow your knowledge early on in your young career, and then before you move on to the next chapter. So let's say 3 years of experience is really important. That knowledge you learn from that experience, you can apply to the next job. Oh, you're a director now, or you're a vice president right now, right? So that's why I would say it might not always come down to money.
Yeah.
But back to the point of like being self-confident workplace, I do agree with you on that point. Yeah. If you don't advocate for yourself, no one will advocate for you. And after a while, being shy is not cute.
It's not.
Like, I heard a vice president told me that she was shy for a minute, and then her executive told her, yo, you continue this, it's not going to get cute after a while. Like, so she started being confident in herself, and now she's in a position where she's senior vice president of this whole big organization after just believing in herself and then kind of being grounded with her words. You feel me?
And one thing I want to point out, we're going to get into, because I like that you play devil's advocate there. Right. We'll get into the difference between, and there's an important distinction between having confidence and then having ego. You can't say that you're worth this if you've not put in the work for it. But I want to say, because people that are introverted, sometimes that sounds daunting and scary to them. The idea of standing up for yourself, if that's not something that are comfortable, it's not something they're comfortable doing. But you got to know there's nothing more powerful than quiet confidence.
Mysterious,
right? People think that confidence looks like being the guy that's talking all the time. big watch, like expensive clothes. It doesn't have to be that.
Yeah, it don't have to be that.
If you're a reserved person that likes to keep to themselves, that's good. That'll get you really far in the office and in the workspace. You don't have to always be, having something to say.
Right.
But that confidence will come that when there is something that is your domain, you're not letting other people do it.
Yeah,
no, this is me, and I know what I need to say, and I'm going to say it. I'm going to get it done. And if anybody has any questions, you come to me with it. And once you set those boundaries and people know what you're capable of, they
respect you too.
You don't got to put in the work anymore. I know sometimes I can feel introverted myself. And it feels like a task to talk to people, and I rather just not do it.
Me too.
But you know what? Once people know how you operate, do you ever feel like introvert with your own friends?
No, Josh. Yeah, I 100% agree.
You don't feel like an introvert with your own friends. It's with people that you don't don't have a read on. So when you get into the office, all these people that they're colleagues, they're distant acquaintances.
Yeah.
You gotta set the tone for them. You let them know exactly what you can do.
Right.
And once they see what you're capable of, it's not work anymore.
100%. Oh yeah, that's a really good question. That's a really good thing because I feel like sometimes when I was in the office, right, I would have to. There was a side. I'm gonna explain this to y'all. There's 3 sides to this room. It's like a big room with all the interns. Yeah. One side in the middle, one side on the right side, one side on the left side. The middle was always jumping with people. Like people would just vibe and network. The right side is always quiet.
Yeah.
Thing is, if you come on the right side, or if you don't get seen in the middle, you're like, all right, now I gotta go to the middle to kind of network with people.
Yeah.
So I always kind of felt like a little not afraid, but I don't want to be out there too much.
Okay.
In the 40 Laws of Power, you gotta learn how to work the room. All right. So work the room means basically don't come off to a way that you're trying to gain attention, but you still get attention on you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's a different way. Everybody wants attention.
Yeah.
But they don't want to do it in a way where it's like drawing so much spotlight on them in a negative light. Yeah. You feel me? So I would work a room, just chatting, okay, here and there. I wouldn't force conversation. Be like, oh yeah, what you working on? Yeah. So you gotta learn how to work the room as well and be confident sometimes to just take that step to talk to that one person, right? Which is huge. So I think we could dive more into that topic like later on as far as like male confidence and everything. But I just kind of want to get into more like body image, right? This is a section where most men struggle in, especially young. You got short kings, you got balding at a young age. I saw my friend just started balding too, but shout out, man, I think he's going to jump back.
It's hard.
What's it called? The last thing would be fitness as well. Like just getting 3 of those things. Most men struggle with those things. Yeah. I want to kind of get your idea on like, what are since you're like what, 6'2"?
6.5, we'll say
6.5? Okay.
Yeah.
Being tall, what's it like? What's the weather like up there, man? How's it for you, man?
There's so much we can say about it, but I think the numbers, I hate.
Don't matter.
They don't matter, man.
Okay.
They just don't matter. The height that I'm at right now, I'm happy with it. But I'm happy with it because I'm just happy with how I am. It's not. I'm not happy that I'm 6 foot. I'm just happy that I'm me. Right. Because you know what? I've been this height for a pretty long time. Yeah. I don't really feel tall every day anymore. But when I was in middle school, I sure did. Yeah. Because I was like 5'9" and everybody else was like 5'3" or whatever. 5'3". And then high school, I haven't grown since high school basically. So like it wasn't until I came to college, everybody was telling me I was tall, and then I saw the VCU basketball team and I'm like, oh
yeah, they're tall.
Those guys are tall.
Yeah, fuck it.
And would you believe it? I'm still not taller than my pops. Like most people, that you're supposed to surpass your pops. I'm still not. So I don't know. Like everybody puts a lot of emphasis on these numbers, and I think men do it actually. The dialogue so much is like with what women's demands are. Right. I think men are the biggest culprits of this. Like this like idea that your value is assigned to a number. It's just a silly way of looking at things. Right. Because to state the obvious, the average height in a man is not in the 6s. No, it's closer to 5'9", 5'8", something like that. You'd never know that though, because everybody that's not 6 foot is short, and
that's what they say.
It's ridiculous because
5'10" and a half, bro.
And in you're tall.
Exactly.
You're healthy. You're confident.
Exactly.
And, when you walk, I'm not seeing you slouch and looking down like
can't be that.
You look like a guy that's comfortable and within his own skin.
Right.
And that should be the goal for every single man. It's harder when you're shorter because society seems to make it harder for them. Put them down. But as men, we need to learn to stop this whole like what do they call it? Like beta, sigma, alpha, all that.
That beta, sigma, alpha stuff, bro. Mm-hmm. All those words.
Yeah, bro.
It kind of just causes division amongst people, amongst humans.
Yeah.
Humans shouldn't be. I mean, men like to have war and everything and conquer and have land and money, all that. Mm. But we shouldn't be creating narratives that put someone in a specific group. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, you're right.
I feel like that kind of affects people. And it's with the social media as well. It starts with social media. Like, everybody has a platform now. Everybody's starting a podcast. But they're creating narratives that are just negatively affecting everybody, splitting division. Mm-hmm. I feel like, me personally, social media is dividing us, not connecting us.
Absolutely, yeah.
Social media is not connecting us with our friends. Mm-hmm. It's dividing us. It's putting people in boxes. Mm-hmm. I would say, on that note, like body image, putting it to a specific number, I see your point, and I feel like tallness is acquired to like, it's attractive because they're more likely to protect the women. Women love guys that are tall. Mm. What's your ideology of that? Because it's 6'5". If you're 6'5", they're like, he can protect me over a guy that's 5'8".
Sure.
That's how I feel.
Sure. I think you go to places around the world. I don't want to pick on any Latin country, but the men in general in Latin America, they're much shorter than they are in, say, Nigeria or Togo, right? Mm. I was talking to somebody, they said the average height of a man in Cameroon can be like 5'10" or something like that. If you think about that, like you're an average height person if you're 5'10", then what the hell are you if you're tall in Cameroon, right? But the average height for a guy in like El Salvador could be like 5'3" or something.
Yeah.
So are the women for thousands of years in their bloodline, are they, feeling like they're not properly protected by their men? Of course not, because like that's not the way that works. Men and women. If you're a man, you're attracted to women, you're going to be attracted to women, and vice versa. If you're a woman, you're attracted to men. All these silly things, these like strange expectations that we put on each other. Yeah. We're not living in caveman times anymore. No, not. It goes back to what I was saying before. Your value is what you believe in, right? And what you stand for. That those things are more important. So as we expand on this like body image thing, I started saying I don't like these numbers that we assign to people's value. Those are numbers that we more or less can't change because your height is pretty much predetermined by the Punnett squares and your mother and your father's genes. Sure, you can eat your greens and make sure you don't stunt your growth, but there's not too much you can do about it. When we talk about weight, though, right, in the gym, you have a little bit more control.
100%.
There are people that naturally they have a predisposition to like, holding more weight or something like that, right? Like big boned people. Mm-hmm. But you can control that more or less. So let's talk a little bit about what the experience is like for men that struggle with the number that they see on the scale, right, when they step on it.
I speak to that point, and stemming from my friends' conversations, my man's told me the other day or a while ago, he was like, big men don't get respected as well to get the opportunities as skinny men. Yeah. Like, I think he's kind of saying, like, he's looking at the grand scheme of things. Mm. This person is getting it more because skinny is more attributed to like you are more ready for this opportunity. Fat man is like, it's like, or big man, I'll say that. Big man is more, okay, this guy's more healthier than you. Why would I give it to you?
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a discrepancy where they're putting skinny man on a higher plate than bigger men. And that's wrong because the bigger man can be smarter, stronger, and have everything, but he's just not adept to what society thinks is body image for a man. So it's really discouraging, and I'm not really much of a fan of it as well. But I see that you can understand it from that perspective. Like skinnier people get more opportunities, and bigger people don't get as much opportunities. That's the way it was shooken down.
I certainly think there's a notion out there that if you're plus sized, you you don't have discipline, or like if you're plus sized,
Right.
you're irresponsible. You must just be stuffing your face with ice cream all the time, so like we can't trust you to do anything.
Yeah, that's good.
But nah, if you're, I'll tell you right now, I'm a really really slender guy. I've always have been. I have a, but you know, it's not because all I do is eat broccoli.
Right.
Like I actually am incredibly blessed that I've never had a cavity before because I just have great genes.
Mhm.
Like my metabolism is what it is, and that's the only reason why I don't, you know, weigh something crazy. Because
Right.
you know, I was a really athletic guy at basketball, running, soccer all my life. But
Yeah.
like even with that, there were kids at the playground I would play with that they were just chunkier kids, and we were eating the same thing at lunch every day.
Mhm.
And then we go out and play recess, and we're running the same amount. Those kids are bigger than me. I would not, you know, for a second think that, oh, like I'm like better than them or something.
Yeah.
Like we're doing the same things. So when we promote health, it's important that we don't make it seem like health is this thing that some people are, and then some things that some people aren't.
Yeah.
Health is something that we're all striving for. So if you're skinny, it's not like job done, I'm already healthy. Like no, like we're both trying to become healthy.
Yeah.
So I think you know, we're gonna get into gym culture in a second, but this is where body dysmorphia comes in. This is where eating disorders come in.
Yeah.
This is where anorexia comes in, because people, you know, they feel like I'm supposed to be this certain number in order to be healthy. When really being healthy is all about, it goes down to hygiene. Are you washing your face every day? It goes down to,
Your mental.
is your mind right? Are you eating the right things every day? And then you know, you can work in the gym to your schedule. If you go to work or if you go to school, try to go to the gym a little bit.
Right.
But there's this idea that like if you're skinny, you know, you don't have to do any of those things. It doesn't make any sense. I really personally could do a lot better.
Right.
I'm gonna start going to the gym with you.
I bet.
Because like for real, I'm slacking.
Yeah, you know, you was like,
Yeah.
But I love that you're saying that, because it's like, it's good. Men should also help each other, or kind of like mold each other to be the best version of themselves as well.
Yeah.
Kind of tying to that point, how can young men be more resilient against negative body image pressures? So that's one question. I think ways you can avoid it. It's kind of just turning a blind eye to social media, because that's kind of what things reinforce that image upon you.
Yeah.
Like you want to look like Michael B. Jordan, because all the girls are on Michael B. Jordan's comments saying, "Oh yeah, you my." Yeah. Avoid social media. Look within, and then be comfortable with yourself. That all ties back into confidence.
Yeah.
Look within, see where you want to improve on, right, and then live life for you. Because my mom told me this earlier today. I was on the phone with her. What a wise woman. She said, no one's gonna remember you 3 generations from now. So who cares if anybody like judges you or cares what you're doing, bro? Avoid social media.
Yeah.
A good way to be resilient: just focus on you.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Josh, take it away. What do you think?
You can't take some things too seriously.
Okay.
You can't allow yourself to feel, you know, going back to these eating disorders. There's so much garbage and pollution on social media from people that are, you know, whether or not they've taken supplements to alter their body and make it appear as if they're like some like shredded animal or whatever.
Disgusting work.
And then they're selling you courses, or they're selling you their like custom protein powder or whatever that is. And they're trapping the minds of young men, trying to get you obsessive about calories, to the point where some people, they don't want to season their chicken because they're like, oh, there's calories in my salt.
Oh my gosh.
Like I've seen it get to that point, and that's when you realize what's really at play here. Do these people want you to be healthy?
Yeah.
Are you actually healthy in the head if you're counting the calories of your salt? I mean, obviously you're not, right? So you're never truly going to be healthy until you learn to feel comfortable within your own skin. Like I said, you have to love yourself. This body positivity, it's brilliant, and we've seen the effects that it's had for women. I really wish men would do the same. You know, instead of speaking about, you know, what it does for women, I think men should just start to apply it for themselves.
100%.
We all go to the gym. Whatever you're lifting, if you're curling 35, you're not defined by 35.
No.
There's some guy that's curling 75. He's in a different state of his gym.
Yeah.
You know, you're not there yet. Everybody's trying to, you know, get healthy for them. it doesn't look like it doesn't look like a certain number. It doesn't look like a certain body type.
100%.
So long as you can go up the stairs without panting, so long as you can, pee and it doesn't hurt, so long as you can like go to the doctor and they after the checkup they say
you're good.
Yeah, that's health. That's health. You want to live to see your kids, right?
Yeah.
That should be your goal. That should be your objective.
Well said. Oh my god.
And I really fear when I have kids of my own, how far this whole
social media body image thing.
How far will it have gotten?
Yeah.
Because I've fallen into it myself, even where they'll be like, if you're eating this, stop eating this, you're gonna get fat, or you're gonna get. But it's good to monitor your health and make conscientious choices, but at the same time, don't lose sight of the fact that your mental health is just as important. So, you really want to make sure you are being true to yourself, being fair to yourself, and remembering that your value is what's inside. It's not how you look outside. Once you start loving yourself, other people will see it in you, and then they
will gravitate towards you like a wildfire, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man, it's like honey on the bees. As you wrap up though, Josh, one thing that came up to me was the numbers game, right?
Yeah.
Now I kind of want to play like a little episode like Black Mirror. You watch Black Mirror?
No, I have not.
It's like a dystopian type show. Like you talk about the most craziest things of what could happen in the future.
I've seen it like here and there.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's say this. Let's say all men had their net worth and how much money in their bank account on their forehead.
Oh my god.
What would that world look like? Because I have my perspective on that. I think for the men with 5K or below wouldn't get shit.
Yeah, probably not.
It wouldn't get nothing. But there's a lot of men that have that situation, and the men with 50K or above, yeah, the youngin will look at them, be like, yeah, it was good. But if you have 5K below, you probably gonna be looked at like a beggar.
Yeah.
They're not gonna look your way at all.
Yeah.
No matter how much stuff you got, if you got Zara, you got nice Gucci slides, bro, you have 500 on your forehead or 5K.
Yeah.
So it's actually being rich that makes you rich and not showing that you're rich. This whole thing could take away everything.
Yeah.
Social media could be faked. But social media wouldn't even be a thing if your worth was on your forehead.
Yeah.
What's your perspective?
I wanna continue on that topic, because to touch on what we were talking about before. Imagine if you were 4'2", but it says 6 figures on your forehead. Are the girls messing with you? Imagine you're 300 pounds, but you got the 6 figures on your forehead. Are the shawties still messing with you? And
for sure.
You think so?
For sure.
You think so?
Yes.
Like on some Rick Ross.
Rick Ross. Yeah. Rick Ross is big and he got money. He is.
So I mean, let's go there then. So the weight it doesn't matter then. What matters is what you do for yourself. Right. Because Rick Ross is not short of confidence, is he? No. Real confident. I mean, you see him with the titties out like in the music videos all the time. You don't care. Obviously you want to promote, being healthy, but he is healthy in more ways than one. He's building empires out in the South, acres and acres of land. That's what I want to do. So we got to stop with the numbers thing, man. It's not healthy.
It's not a way to define a human because there's so much more to a human than numbers. Yeah. Right. Now, to close up our episode here, Josh, I kind of want to ask you 3 questions, and you can be quick fire answers like you got 2 hands, bah, 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 and then next one. Yeah. So 1 sentence, 1 phrase, all right? Okay. My first question for you is, who's better, Giveon or Dan Caesar? Dan Caesar, man. Dan Caesar. You're a crazy guy. Dan Caesar, You're a crazy guy. Nah. Once Giveon makes best part, we can talk, but wow. Yeah. Okay, I just want to get the answer. Okay. Now, what's one rule you would make for the whole world if you had the opportunity to do it? Oh my God. Like it could be anything. That's crazy, man. I think it could be something calm. Yeah. Okay. I would make a rule that. It's a big one. It's a big one, man. Like there's so much you can do. Okay, I'd make a rule that food is free. food is free?
Yeah, I don't think food should cost money. Like, you need it to not die, right? So it's not right that people that have less money can't eat. Right? There's people like around the world that cannot eat. Right? Okay, that's the easy one. I'm gonna just do that.
Okay, I like that. The last question is, what's one last meal you would want to enjoy?
Oh my god.
Because I was gonna say jollof rice for me.
No, that's exactly where my mind went. we were some West African boys in the office, microwaving the jollof rice.
Oh,
right?
see,
right after marinated. Yeah, so maybe jollof rice.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling you about shawarma yesterday. I'm gonna put you on, bro.
Okay, like, that burrito jump, right?
Yeah,
shawarma.
Shawarma, bro, it's so crazy. You get it with some like garlic sauce, some pickle inside. Oh my god, it'll change your life. So maybe shawarma, maybe jollof. I'm gonna do 3 just for it. I'm gonna put you on Nigerian food, egusi soup with eba or fufu, whatever you like, whatever swallow you like. Egusi soup is crazy. You're gonna have to hit the toilet afterwards. It's crazy. It's so good.
Man, Josh, it's been a pleasure having you on the episode, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on, bro. Very candid conversation, a wealth of knowledge. You will definitely see Josh on a future episode as well. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode, Behind Closed Doors Podcast. Behind Closed Doors Podcast. Thank you, Josh, for that. That's a good, cool intro. But thank you guys for joining us. Watch this on YouTube. What's it called? YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music.
What else you got on?
Reels. You'll watch this on Reels as well.
Tune in, bcd.pod. We'll see you next time. Peace.